Hey everyone, so for today's highlight holes video, we are throwing it back to our first ever course vlog at Gallagher's Canyon here in Kelowna, BC. So Gallagher's is an absolute top tier course by any standards and always comes highly recommended from me. If you're looking to play a challenging Okanagan golf course, Gallagher's is definitely at the top of my list. They often host the Golf BC Championship here as part of the Mackenzie Tour, which is a great testament to the quality of golf you can expect when playing here at Gallagher's. Be ready for some narrow holes with tree-lined fairways, lots of dog legs, and of course great conditions when you play here. So let's jump in. Hole number 1 is a 434-yard par 4, and it's also the one cap on the course. You've got this beautiful elevated tee box right at the clubhouse there, down to a very narrow fairway, not a lot of room for error off the tee. If you do go right or left, chances are you'll have some of those trees blocking a shot at the green. The added difficulty with hole 1 here really comes into play with the elevated green as well as the green side bunkers. If you do go long with your second shot, chances are you'll have a difficult up and down from the thick rough, possibly fescue, and you may have some trees to contend with as well. Ultimately, a big momentum hole as you start your round off. If you can get a good score on this challenging first hole, should set yourself up for a solid round here at Gallagher's. Up next, jumping over to hole 5. It's another signature hole with a beautiful view of the Okanagan Valley below. It's a 420-yard par 4, but it plays a lot shorter just given the elevation change from tee down to the green. Opens up quite a bit to the left with your tee shot there, and you've got that flat landing area, which is kind of the recommended layup shot. This should keep you away from the bunkers on the right hand side as well. You'll want to be cognizant of the sloped areas with your tee shot to avoid a really sloped second shot. If you go too long or too short, could leave yourself with a pretty difficult lie. And you've got a relatively large triangular green with lots of room around it, as well as the bunkers, to make for some interesting chip shots if you do miss your second shot. Always makes for an interesting round when you can have some of those chip shots to work with. We're going back to back here with hole number 6. So it's a short par 5, 524 yards from the back tees, a definite birdie hole to build some momentum after a tricky start in your first 5 holes. It looks very narrow off the tee, but it does open up a deceiving amount as you kind of approach the hole. You've got a couple bunkers to contend with, as well as a little tuft of fescue down the middle left side of the fairway there. You'll want to clear that if you have a chance at getting onto the green in 2. And the other thing to consider is it's once again an elevated green, so you may need a little more club than expected to roll up onto the green. The challenge though is if you do go long, you'll want to hope you catch that back bunker, and if you miss the bunker, you may roll off the edge, which you definitely do not want. Relatively straightforward green, fairly flat, which allows for some makeable birdie or potentially even eagle putts here on this 6th hole. We're going to wrap up the front 9 now with hole number 9. It's another short par 5, 505 yards. Actually, 2 5s back to back here with holes 9 and 10. So a really good momentum swing as you kick off the back 9. One of the more open holes on this course. You've got an undulating fairway that drops down on your second shot prior to the green. And it's also a dog leg left, which makes it a little bit more difficult to get to the green in 2. There's a sneaky little bunker at the front of the green that does an amazing job of catching any balls that do go slightly short, and a bit of a backstop behind the green there if you do go long. We're going to wrap up here with hole number 15. It's a very narrow par 4, only 350 yards, but a challenging hole regardless. An all-important tee shot that you want to keep to the left side fairway, just given the way that the fairway slopes from left to right. If you end up on the right side, you may actually have to hit a decent sized cut on your second shot to work around the trees up to the green there. Relatively flat green once again, which should leave a solid birdie opportunity if you can keep it straight off the tee. There you have it, 5 of my favorite holes from Gallagher's Canyon. As always, please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. And especially with this golf course, remember, you better be keeping the ball straight.